Ads are starting. Time for a break, and Dylan will continue the main focus after the ads are over. Thank you for your patience and stream support.
Well. Let's see if I can not mess this up today. And we'll see how it goes. So, suffice to say, we have a lot of digging to do. There is a lot of, what's the word? Never mind, I'm worded out already. There's a lot of lessons to be learned from today. Number one, if you're messing around with your OBS stream and you go to test it, remember, when you're done, I don't care what time of night it is, turn off the bandwidth test mode. Because if you get stuck with that for more than half an hour, you really lost your mind. Especially since I wasn't in the room all the time. Alright. Let's just go live. Cross my fingers that everything's going to work. You'll need to let me know about audio quality today. I have done a real mind job on my setup. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm a little weirdly unevenly lit today, so I'm trying to back it off. I look disgustingly greasy and oily. I don't know why. My colors are completely shot, but hey, it's fine. So, yeah, I messed with things, and, you know, rule number one, don't mess with things when you are less than 24 hours until time to go, but I probably still would have messed up the stream bandwidth mode thing. One of my lights is dimmer than the other, and I don't quite know why it's doing that. You can barely hear my voice. Okay, I can handle that. So, let's see, let's jack this back up. Let's see if that's any better. Actually, let's chuck it way up and then kill it on the mic. That's probably even smarter. Yeah, I can talk a bit more. Okay. Yeah, long story short, I've been trying to figure out why my stream has been sketchy of late, and it's been doing weird things to my computer and overloading my encoder on my video card. Not quite sure why. And so even when the video card isn't in use, for some reason, the computer decides that it wants to keep the CPU pegged at 100%. So I haven't got the slightest idea of why that is. Because I went through everything that appears to have any percentage whatsoever in the, not the process manager, what do you call it, task manager thing? And it gets to nowhere near 100%. Like we're at least down by 15 to 20% minimum. So I don't know. And yesterday it required a reboot before it played some of the sounds we have on here. So we'll just, I don't know, pray maybe? I don't know. If you're into that sort of thing. I say I don't know a lot, but let's hope things go a bit smoother from here. And it's going to sound a little different because I'm trying a different tech on the voice. So yeah, hoping that it's going to be a little lighter. Crystal. Oh, interesting. Okay. You live, you learn, you try something new, right? Okay. So, we have horrible frames per second at the moment, as you guys can see at the bottom. Not quite sure where that's coming from. Maybe it'll settle out, maybe it won't. But, suffice to say, we are now in a different village. So it looks... Oh. The game's taken a while to come in, that's why. I had too many frames. Too many chunks. This is going to be interesting. We won't be going too fast anyways, so it will probably catch up. But yeah, it's not your imagination. So, I used to live in village up here. I think. Yeah, that's when I used to live in the village up there. But now I live down here because our circle ended up over here. So I got some stuff figured out. Now, ideally, when I take a look at the... Oh, come on, wrong map. This one. When I take a look at the chunk border lines, our circle, unfortunately, is not quite inside a chunk... a region. So this section on the right-hand side is actually in the next region. Now, while we have the opportunity, I could shove it over. There's no point, really, because this bit is going to be, at least for the first two chunks or so, going to be inside, inside, like just a big bowl. It's not an active section. I'm not doing any farms or anything on there as far as I know at this time. So I decided to leave. Right? Alright, so, yeah, that's what we got. Now I took a stab at taking a little bit of it off and went square. That was a mistake, but, you know, things happen. Alright, what do we have on us? I'm going to dish some stuff that I left on when I logged off last night. And then we're going to go and just start digging. So I actually, unfortunately, do not have any super tools. I did work my way through getting a stack and a bit of iron. So our poor golems are not happy with me on the whole, because the guys are very much targeted. I guess that's probably a good way of putting it. I don't yet have a bow, which is unusual for me because I like to be a distance shot, but, you know, is what it is. I guess I don't need these. I'll be getting much more of that as we go. I don't need the slabs. What do we got in here? Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, I'm gonna keep the dirt. I'm gonna keep those, keep that. Alright. I think we are as good to go as we can get at the moment. So we keep double checking to make sure I've got a table, because 4 times I forgot the table yesterday. So yeah. So long story short, this is a house design I found in a different one of our villages. I just copied it and like quite literally took pictures and then went and built it. And then inside we just threw this one down and that one down. In the other building it had a Fletcher at this end. Like his work tables at this end, and I don't think he had a bed. I think he just had some like blocks or something at the other end. But there was a carpet right through the middle, and I was like, you know, that actually, if I put it near the door, then it keeps the villagers from coming in. But it got kind of annoying with the guy just opening the door and standing there. It's sort of creepy. And because it was open, I mean, I could put it the crosswise direction, but either way, he would stay nearby and keep opening my door. So that's gonna bug me. So instead, I put it, keep forgetting about that factor. I put it the other direction. Yes, I know, this way. And then I want you on this side, I think. Nope, wrong way. So used to the way my real life house goes. There we go. That it's got it to act similar for some reason for me to be comfortable with it. Anyway, okay. So yeah, I copied it. I even went and got some more horses to put in here. That was fun. Turns out I had 2 golden apples. I didn't realize I was carrying a second one from one of the portals. So that made getting the horses easier. You can see part of the headache I had yesterday. I was trying to just do copy pastes with like move and so on using like Matica, which is great, except that now we have this weird overhang and it's perfectly 2 blocks high. So yeah, that was dumb, but oh well. There. That should hopefully help light stuff up a little bit. We got floating grass. Wonderful. Okay, that should be good enough for now. Hey there, lass. Welcome on in. Good to see you. I'm not quite sure why I'm grabbing eggs, but it seems to be a good thing to do for now. We're going to have more eggs and more chickens than we can deal with at some point. But yeah, I dodged a lightning bolt yesterday. I did die at the end of stream. That was fun and a half. Okay. I am directionally challenged because I'm using 2 different systems. And let's see, 64, 63, 352. Okay. So what's this? 64. Don't care, and 252, I think I said. 2. We'll make this one. Oh. There. And pink of some sort? Sure. Submit. Save. Close. Where is it? See? I'm directionally challenged. I started going sideways. Oh, and I didn't name it. Haha. Well, that's not smart. Edit. Cinder. Okay. Save. Now, I don't know why I'm not seeing it on the mini map or on the overall map. It should have been a... Oh, did I not make it global? That would explain a lot. Oh, it's global. No idea. But anyway, here we are. You were in Tree Stream when I raided in. It certainly sounded very dramatic. Yeah, well, it was just a creeper. So I was turning around, talking to the folks, and then it just went sizzle, pop, and explodey, and yeah. That's where we went. Did I bring... Really? I put away the cobblestone, didn't I? Okay, well, we'll have to just get ourselves some more cobblestone. I mean, I know we're going to end up with a ton of it, right? But it's more that I'm going to run out of shovel pretty soon here. I think the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to go around in circles, rather literally, but I think I should grab a little bit of dirt to begin with and take care of this river section. Not necessarily filling it out, but just put the wall part in there. And it's bedtime already. Really? Feels like time flies in this place. Yeah. Stop telling me. Yeah, sleep first, and then we'll deal with it. Hello? Hello? There we go. Better. What was that? Oh yes, I should explain. I am using inventory profiles next, and if it can't swap and refill my tools for me, then it makes noises. And if it has a failed and replace, it doesn't say how many failed replace it's going to let me have. So let's see, let's not have that. False. So visual alert on failed, that's fine. False. on the sound alert. That should do the trick. It'll stop telling me. If it can't replace, it can't replace. That's fine. And then we'll still get the brake noises. Alright, let's leave the bed until we have reason. Actually, we'll move the bed. But we'll need it again, so let's put it down where we need it to be. Okay, so what I'm just gonna do is start out by building out the wall, I think. Here, and I can get rid of this one. I mean, on the bright side, it's the shovel that broke. It's not like it's the pickaxe. That would be a problem. I said I had more iron and I didn't bring it. Wow, I'm doing well today. So yeah, that's the kicker, I guess, is that I wasn't paying attention when I was saying goodbye to everybody, and it blew me up. So that's the way life goes, or what would you say? That's the way the cookie crumbles. But yeah, the idea. Did I save the picture? If I save the picture of what I'm working on, then I don't have to worry about having as much of the load on the computer with the browser. Let's see. Nope. Minecraft. Ideas? Ideas. Reboot. That sounds silly, but no. Okay, yeah. There we go. Okay, so we are doing a dig out. Should probably put both of these in my reference screen. Okay. Just going to throw these in the references window. Image, there we go. I can't seem to find it today. Principal office. Unload when not showing. Sorry guys, this is not a great place for you to be staring at the moment. Reboot. This one. Open. There's a lot going on that side of the screen. Okay, let's go over here. That'll work. And then... Really? And then it had to rain. That's okay. We're just about out of this standing still business. This is to make the picture I'm looking at much, 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 much smaller. I think that'll work over my head. We shall see. Oops. Count. There. Let's try that. Okay. So live references. Where's that screen? This one. There we go. Close enough. So that's loosely what I'm working on. Not the Streamcraft logo, clearly. But, yeah. That's loosely what I'm working on. We have a very, very large dig out to do. So that white thing in the center is not the size of the circle. The white thing in the center is the floaty bit inside the size of the circle. So I'm working on the inner green circle. And I guess I'm going to need to get some cobblestone. You know what? Okay, this is my map. I know this is super cheaty, but I'm behind the 8 ball on the start. So let's just go get some good stuff. That away, put that away. Oops, dumb. Yes, I know. Alright, we have sticks already. Do I have stick size left behind? No. 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 Okay, and I said I wanted the cobblestone, but I think I'll be fine with iron for now. I have sticks. I do have sticks. Yay. Okay, 1, 2. There's the shovel. I can probably leave this one behind. What am I all looking like? Okay, that looks good. Actually, we should keep that on the bar for now. Okay. And let's swallow this one. Put that in there for now. Great. Now these eggs. And we're back again. So map. Let's go back, and where were we? Somewhere up top? There we go. Okay, so I'm not going to be teleporting all the time. That was very cheaty. It's the, I should have gotten there to begin with. And yes, I know, I could probably use world edit tools and stuff to make this a lot easier. Truth is, if I had infinite amounts of time, then I would just go ahead and do infinite amounts of manually digging. I prefer it. So I know Fantastic Sherlock Fox is in meetings today, but if you have time to tell us, what are you up to today? I am very, very curious to hear. So as we dig down, we will also build up to try and get that bowl shape that you see on the screen there. We hopefully will be able to get a good sized one going. Still a quiet week, so we actually get audio. Ooh. That's good if you're not stuck in meetings. You probably have paperwork and stuff to do, but I appreciate that you're here. I do feel spoiled every time you have the opportunity, and very, very spoiled that you're choosing to spend it here rather than elsewhere. I mean, I recognize that anyone can always multi-park, especially when my timings are rather out to lunch. So, yeah, I will end up updating that on the stream, just to say that, yeah, I aim for this, it generally doesn't happen. The thing is, whatever time I set, the problem is I forget. Not I forget, I don't forget. I guess that's probably a more accurate description. And that sounds silly, but what I really mean by that is, if I wanted to start at 9 my time, so that'd be almost 2 hours ago, then I scrape through till like 5 to 9, and I'm still not quite ready for the day. I said, okay, let's try 10. And I'm ruining that one. Same reason. Right? So either I push back or I don't, but if I push back again, just cutting everything down by an hour or pushing back by an hour, then I still remember that. And it wouldn't even help if somebody else was to set the timing and I just sort of aimed for what I thought I was going to aim for. Yeah. It's one of those things that I don't even think a guerrilla edit to my description would last long before I'd figure it out. Which is too bad, because I really would love to be able to keep a schedule. I've been accused of being lazy for that, and truth is it's not that. It's always the one more thing, but the problem is it's not a one more thing in the, oh, I think I could just get this thing fit in. It's a one more thing that becomes an absolute and utter obsession of the moment to do that thing, whatever that thing was. So it's like I'm absolutely driven to take care of that thing, even though half the time it's something I could do later. So yeah. And today was also forgetful, as I mentioned at the start. Bandwidth test mode? Yeah, don't stream with that. That's not great. or don't think you're streaming with that. It was actually a good thing. I don't normally check on my phone to see if I got the stream working. Oops. If I got the stream working correctly. What happened today that made me check it was that I was not quite finished with getting ready for the morning, and I had booted things up remotely off of my tablet, which normally works, but because I'd made so many changes last night, the sound was coming through kind of choppy on my tablet, and I wasn't sure if that was my imagination or if that was really the case. So while I was finishing up getting ready, I decided to listen in on my phone, because then you can at least use the remote app for conversation and stuff like that. And it insisted I was offline, and I went, wonder what this is. Maybe it's my bad internet connection in that space. Maybe it's this, that, and the other thing, 100 different excuses, and maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And then I realized all of a sudden, I was thinking, oh crumb, I wonder if I did this thing. Well, unfortunately, I had, but was completely unavailable or unable to fix it remotely because I already had a tablet connection going, which was not in the room with me at the time. So yeah, that wasn't great. Live and learn. And it's a silly, easy mistake to make. Basically, what I've been trying to troubleshoot with a lot of this is a couple weeks ago. Well, actually, this was last week, really. It feels like it's longer. But then again, tomorrow it'll feel like it's shorter. I needed a break from Minecraft, so I decided I was going to try and stream some Hogwarts Legacy. That went over like, well, I shouldn't say over like a lead balloon, but that went technically as well as trying to make a lead balloon from pencil shavings, which is not doable as far as I know. Anyway, so I was trying to troubleshoot why on earth my machine, which, yes, that's a lot of foo-for-all nonsense, but in the top corner, right-hand side, if I didn't have the references page on, you would be able to see that I've got myself a Ryzen 7, so an AMD Ryzen 7, which is not, a terrible unit, and 96, I think, gigs of memory. Of course, not all of that's addressable, but the vast majority is. And so I should not have any issues. Oh, and a 3080 NVIDIA 3080 video card. So I mean, it's not perfectly top of the line or anything like that, not compared to what people often are buying these days, but it's high enough up the line that I shouldn't be having the problems I was seeing. So I was trying to figure out what is the issue. Still haven't solved that one. So if any brains out there have sort of a next steps direction for me to troubleshoot, please let me know. Oh, I'm going to rocket through that iron really fast, aren't I? So anyhow, suffice to say that I was a little frustrated. And so I was trying something last night and attempting to put it under fake load. Not the same game, but it was this one, but I was trying to put it under fake load just to see what my computer responded like under various conditions. That's part of where the audio differences are coming from today, is I'm just about everybody and their dog says, hey, you need a mixer app, or like at least an app, if not a physical mixer. And I've been resisting like a crazy person. I still think I don't, but that's just because I haven't bothered with really worrying about the realities of what those apps usually entail. Suffice to say, I decided last night to give it a go and just see what Wavelength would be like. Wavelength is actually, thankfully, a little bit lighter on my video card, not by much, but it allows me to use somebody else's AI technology to try and make things a little smarter. Oh, geez. Just in case. I wanted those spare blocks, thanks. Guess I won't for now. Building inspectors are here. So anyway, nuts. Nuts to that. Okay. 1. Yay! So anyhow, all that foofara. Oops, wrong way. To say that I was trying to troubleshoot that issue. Still haven't managed to solve the problem. Still wondering what on earth I was doing. But I bandwidth tested and yeah, left it on. Smart. SMRT. Actually, I think that would be even above where I was. We got about SMT. Or in this case, STM, but that's neither here or there. And so, yeah, that's one of my boo-boos today. That's okay, you know? People make mistakes. We're human after all. And we make a go of it, right? I also almost forgot the meds. And then after that, I almost forgot my glasses. And in-game, of course, you saw what happened. I forgot all kinds of things. So, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. See, this is part of that whole failed grass thing, or copy-paste. We have Captain Floaty Grass. It's, not sure quite why I have so much of it. I mean, I understand that I copy-pasted a lot of the land, but I actually copy-pasted this thing in multiple short chunks so that I wouldn't have to have this problem with the land. But I guess I had enough land underneath grass, or not land, sorry, enough of the circle near at or below the grade I wanted, that it took the grass and trees and whatever else with it. So I have periods of floating grass. That's just the way it goes. Whoa, 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 whoa. Dude. I mean, I guess I'm not gonna get, like bad omen and stuff like that, because the system doesn't do that anymore. Come on. But I still don't want to have those guys around. They're just not a barrel of laughs, you know? Okay, so let's just go around in circles. And take out what we can. So as I mentioned a little bit earlier, part of this circle business, this place is huge. This design is huge. So it may look like I'm going to be putting things in and then digging them out, and possibility is real. But what I'm hoping to do is to get all the way around and then go one block down and come in by one. And then go one block down from that and come in by one. So we will be doing some backfill as we go. Not every single block one at a time like this. I just have an obsession with straight rows. But that's where some of this is coming from. Is that we're just going to go round and round and round to get a bowl shape. I could use one more, I think. There we go. Semi-bowl shaped in this corner. There we go. Close enough. So like this one, we're going to have a lip, and then that'll go down to the next layer, and so on and so forth. And some of it won't be like, we might have the diamond in between, but we may not have the one on the edge. Hello, chicken. So this is going to be a very large city. This circle, I believe, is 192 diameter. Whereas, oh, if that's diameter. Yeah, actually that makes sense. That's 64 and 32 a piece. Yeah, that'll work. So basically it's a roughly, I'm counting evens at the moment, but it's roughly a stack and a half ish from the center point. And that's only going to be enough. So that white blob you see in the center of the reference pictures is actually going to be about 128 across. And that'll be my main sort of quote-unquote base, I guess you could say, my main living spot. So in essence, I'll be the Fong in the situation, if anybody has any idea what that refers to. The quasi-mayor of the city, I suppose? De facto only player, I guess that makes me mayor. Ooh, bad rhyme. So, any case, that's the shape we're going to work with, and I don't know if we're going to end up with farms in there, or if we're going to end up with just storage. I'm not entirely sure at this point. This is going to hopefully be my long-term world. Now, we've got quality of life mods going, but I don't have any game-changing mods, and that's just so that as the game evolves and new things happen, or I do new things on community servers, then I have an opportunity to put those builds in this world. Now, it's a city, so of course it'll have districts and neighborhoods and all that business, which allows us the luxury of having different themes. So I'm going for 6 major, well, let me correct that, 5 major themes. The 6th one is don't touch, as in don't change the world. Oh, we'll get down there eventually. But that's just because in the reference city there is a zone that's all parks and things, and it looks a lot like various biomes of Minecraft from the aerial view. I will probably change, compared to the TV show, I will probably change the heights of the various neighborhoods. But that's because Minecraft will have different terrain as we go. And so whatever ends up being more convenient. Did I? Uh-oh. Oop. Yeah, this is at 3. Okay. Should probably stop and make another one. We're gonna burn through those poor golems so fast. That's okay. This one and that. Like, for example, I'd mentioned that I did not have the slightest clue how much space, not space, what's the word? I can't remember now. Hello. I don't have the slightest clue any longer what the default behavior of a bundle would be. I know that you can pick them up and put things in and pull them out, right? But inside, I don't think you have a way of choosing specific items inside. And that's something I definitely would like to have. So, yeah. Let's put torches over there for now. We'll lock it in. And this is going to exchange on me, which is fine. Put that over here, unlock that position in, unlock that one. Now, you're hearing me say lock it in. With inventory profiles next, we are able to do a sort, but we are also able to lock things in so that when I do a sort of whatever method, that it doesn't actually move the things I've locked in place. It also means that I can prevent myself from dropping things, so I can sit. Oh, let's not do that. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, those dirt are not locked in. Let's say the shovel's locked in, so I can't just toss it. I can try all day, but I can toss the dirt to my heart's content. So I like that feature. There we go. I'm going to keep looking for this repeatedly, so let's move the torches over there. All right. That's that. Sort that. So anyway, where I was going with it is, as we go through, I will be looking to design a shell for some of the neighborhoods, but it won't be per se a neighborhood in the traditional sense. Within the world of Reboot, we've talked about this before, but I mean, hey, nobody's stopping me. Don't stop me now. And yes, I know I'm off key. Within the world of Reboot, they say the user inputs games for fun. And there's more to that line, but basically the main character goes, I don't know why, but I intend to find out. And the idea of these games is they can be anything and everything. Two that come to mind are... Actually, I've got three. There's one that's like a Crash Bandicoot type game. It's very Western and very silly. There's another one that was very, like more of almost like a D&D type game. I would say dungeon crawler, but I mean, it's castles and bards and you know, magic and so on and so forth. So we've got that. And then there's the third one I remember was one that I probably won't do, but it was a sort of, I'd say Halloween, a theme based off of, what do you call them? Evil Dead series. The game was very much like an Evil Dead ripoff in the storyline. Of course, couldn't be perfect because Mainframe Studios did not have the rights, so yeah, not happening. Oh, I'm not jumping down there to do the dirt yet. Yeah, that'll just have to stay there. So they've got that one, but it was sort of a Halloween theme, a little bit thriller, like Michael Jackson Thriller style, and so on. So that's where they went with that. And this concept of having different games that do different things and have different looks allows me plenty of scope to put in little neighborhood spaces for my previous builds. So basically, the external is a big square prism. Well, square prism isn't the word. Rectangular prism, I suppose. And that would allow for me to have these other previous season builds and previous world builds all in one place. That's part of why I think it might be a good long time storage world. And the idea is that I'm going to play it vanilla. Now, during the construction phase, I don't have as many, you could say, qualms about being all, as some like to say, all cheaty by, just making sure, okay, by doing some teleporting. But I have not duped a single item, nor have I given myself anything unfair. So even though I looked like I had a perfect stack of iron there, that was actually from going and clobbering golems manually one by one till the wee hours of the night. So we were definitely not going through the cheat system. So at the moment, basically what I'm saying is just transportation, nothing else. I did, though, change one behavior about the way the game's going to work, and that is just that I've got a quality of life mod in there that I haven't tested yet. I just added it last night. But it's supposed to replicate the block placing behavior of Bedrock, so it's something like that. It's not perfectly like that. Apparently it's a little bit different, but I figured that's handy just because I will be needing to place forward, I will be needing to place around things, a little better timing. So when we get to much more of the placing business, that I'd like to be able to just keep running forward and not have to worry about the timings. So one of the things I have been frustrated by for a long time, and I looked up a couple days ago what it was. Oh, okay. When you, in Minecraft, when you place a block in Java, can I do this? Yeah, that'll do for now. Can I do this one? Nope. Okay. When you place a block in Java, and then you go running around to try and make a longer run of them, so like if I was to do these rows and be placing it that way, Java timings are apparently, it'll place one block every approximately 4 ticks, which most of the time is not an issue in a lot of cases because I don't run that fast, especially if I'm crouching. But if one has, if one has beacons, which is something I actually might cheat in when I'm closer to that level. I will not fight a warden on my own in my long-term world. Not yet. And I don't know if I ever will. But when I'm running at faster speeds, you know, we've got efficiency and so on, that I guess I should get villagers. I have villagers, I just haven't actually leveled any of them up. But I should probably grab some and get like mending and unbreaking and all that. That would make this a little smoother. Anyway, mental note. But when I'm running like that, every 4 ticks, placing a block leaves weird gaps. But it also results in situations where sometimes you'll get 2 blocks on top of one another. If you're trying to place flat rows, that's really annoying. It does happen in Bedrock if you're, I don't know if you're trying, but it does happen. Just their timing is not running around worrying about those few moments. So they just place whenever they can, like as quick as possible. There's no delay for the 4 ticks. So if you're running around placing, you're going to get a straight row, which I like a whole lot more. So that's one of the things I wanted to bring across with the Bedrock placing. But also, of course, this one, similar to Bedrock, you can place forwards by placing in air. And there is a tweak to it where in Bedrock I have misplaced blocks, like it does, you know, you have to be able to reasonably be going in the same direction. But in the with this, I think it's Placer Pro or something like that. Anyways, what it will do a little different as long as I'm running in the same direction and not deviating, then I can just keep on building forwards, which is great. So I don't think I have place under in that one. It didn't seem to have it when I was looking earlier. Let's make a quick look for creepers. Nope, no creepers. Did I just leave a bunch of dirt behind? Oh, did that fall down a hole? Let's see if it fell down a hole. It's not about lag, it's about... Yeah, it fell down. Yike! And so did I. Okay. Hey, you. Let me out. Okay, so this one. Let's get down there. Can I place this? Yeah, I can't place into nothingness. Okay, great. So it's semi... yeah. It's semi... bedrock-ish. And but anyways, the idea being that if I wanted to go forward on stuff, I'm so used to being backwards that you're probably still going to see me do backwards most of the time. Can I get down there? There. Come on. Hello? You can't reach further. I thought about adding extra reach, but then it's just dumb. Like, there's no point. There. Now I can get around the corner without falling to my doom. Alright. So anyhow, we've got places to put things, places to put old items, and so this will be a bit of a longer term world. Part of the reason I'm stalling on this one is that I was not super in the mood to play a whole bunch of modded today, or this week. It just, once I got my head around starting this project and getting right to it, because otherwise it'll be a forever day project, then I just started obsessing on doing it. That's fine, shovel replace failed. It's gonna go. Here we go. And this one. There. Guess I should make 2. That would be sensible. Actually, Actually, let's just make all of those into sticks. That's what they're there for. 1, 2. That one. There. Alright, so... Oops. Not much to say about it other than what you hear is what you got. Okay, let's move. That's 60 torches. Maybe there's room in with the egg. Yep, there is. Okay. So anyway, that's the plan. I wasn't really in the mood for doing modded at the moment. Part of the reasoning on that was just that I can just wait till I get around in circles for this part. Yeah. Part of the reason was that basically everybody has either seen it, rocketed through it, or sometimes redstone bends their brain. And I'm not a redstone person myself. I like compact machines, but they're really, truth be told, a lot of people are right when they say that modded machines, for the most part, are mystery boxes. As in, it's a block that does a thing. I mean, you can loosely understand the concept of what they do, but you don't actually really know what they do in a literal sense. I'm one block up too high, aren't I? Let's see if those fools are still there on the other side of the circle. I hope not. They're annoying. Oh, floaty grass. Gotta deal with it. Here we go. And I can always dig in the opposite direction. Yeah, I'd wanted to dig one down. Okay. Do I have... Could fill in. Let's get the water out of the way, so if I do have to run, then it's gone. Inventory management. So, when I was interested in playing in the modded world, what I was thinking of was just mucking around with modded foods. Which, I mean, it's one of those things that... It's one thing when you've got machines that you can't... or that you can replicate in Minecraft. But it's a whole different thing when you've got things that just there's no way that the vanilla world lets you do. And that's really what I was at with modded. Yeah. I'm being kind of dumb, so I'm going to dig this out later. But I would rather have it full than empty. I don't mean dig all of this out. I mean, this part actually is too low. So what's going to happen, per the reference picture, is I'm going to dig out the inner bowl. And then on the outer bowl, I don't know if I'm going to actually dig it out or not. That's I haven't decided part of the story yet. So I'm really not sure if it's worth it over there. But I also wouldn't know how thick that I would want the layer to be between the two bowls. So even though I want the inner bowl to be one block down, or one block step down each time, the outer one, as I said, the future me problem, the outer bowl goes underneath, so there will be some of this that will get dug out by those, excuse me, by that other bowl. So I mean, if I was thinking about it now, then I may not fill in as much of this as I am, but I don't know how thick I'm going to want the layer, so that's if I dig it out at all. Because it's black, there's a chance that actually I might just decide that a couple layers down or whatever, I will make it into, say, deep slate or something, and call it a day. We'll see. I also have enough ruined portals around this silly place that if I turn them all into real portals, or use some of them into real portals, then I could pick whichever one has the nicest seed drop, or not seed drop, the nicest spawn location. So that's always a possibility as well. And then we could have tons of blackstone potentially. At least ruined portals are good for discount supplies. True! I actually already have 36 pieces of obsidian. So that's a good thing, I guess. Let's run this back and forth. Easier that way. And I don't know why I chose the level I did for the height. What am I on? 64? 6, 7. Yes, that says 67. I don't know why I chose that. It's a very arbitrary number. I think it's because I didn't want 66, but that's still rather arbitrary in itself. So I'm not sure why I chose that. But I will say, by doing a long-term road myself, there are some things that, unless I cheat them in, or we're here for another, 5 or 6 years and I grow a set in that period of time, there's some things I won't naturally have. So, for example, netherite armor because of the trims, which is a little disappointing, although that might happen, we'll see. It's more likely than anything else. I might just go in with like a whole stinking lot of invisibility potions and see if I can get past those crazy guys. But there's another item I probably wouldn't have naturally unless I spawned it in cheaty, is a beacon. But we'll see. I don't know. I don't really think I want to have a wither in my own forever world after I put this much effort into it. And there's a reason that I'm not doing the nether. Not nether, sorry. There's a reason I'm not doing... I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, the wither in this world. I mean, can you imagine? Even if I did it, thousands of blocks away, if I lost control of that thing, it would be trouble. Trouble extraordinaire. Okay, these can go over there. Alright. Bedtime for Bonzo. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction. But yeah, we will need to probably cheat in some speedy digs because you guys have been with me in the past when I did an awful lot of dig down from flattening out what was in essence a mountain to do a very large carpet art on the ground. And yeah, that took a while. So if I do nothing but the dig downs here, it's gonna be boring as snot. So I don't want to do the cheating thing, but on the other hand, I'm not sure I want to trespass on your time either, so who knows. Anyway, we'll see how far everybody's got patience for, and what I have stories for, so we might come back to this from time to time. Boring as snot. Snot can be decidedly interesting. Ooh. Well, what is it they say in the Harry Potter world? Ew! Troll bogies! And I will at some point return to Hogwarts Legacy. I have a separate save, or separate run for the stream if I absolutely go stir crazy, and that's the thing that's, appealing at the time. Mental health is worth it in some cases. If I feel I'm just too peopled out, then we may get Planet Crafter, or Eden Crafters? I think, yeah. But Planet Crafter is the one I've got right now that I want to get going on at some point. That's a planet terraforming one. I also at some point should probably get around to attempting to get better at SnowRunner, because I was playing with my son and I am an absolutely terrible truck driver. It's from the same people I don't think it's the same people as American Truck Simulator.
Ads are
But it's, I
starting.
think their
Time
latest
for a break and Dylan will
Roadcrafter?
continue the main focus after the ads are over. Thank you for your
Okay.
patience and stream support.
Excellent. Thank you, Oswin. And I don't know how Oswin sounded because he's in a news source as well. But let's just do our little safety box. Why not? This'll do. Do I have torches this time? I do indeed. Okay, there we go. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And box. Let's not suffocate my head in that. And can I get up here? Hello? Nope, guess not. There we are. Punk. Alright. So let's do a little bit of a swap over and do a tiny bit of words on stream for a bit. And see how we do on that one. Hello, can I interact with you? There used to be an interact button, but oh, haha. It updated and it's now quite literally a button. Here we are. Okay, start. Oh. Sorry, I briefly lost my contact to the chat room in OBS. That's not good news. Good one, Locust. Or, good one, Locust. Good one, last. Thank you for Locust. Welcome in, Mama Bear. Good to see you. Thank you for the words. We may have to try one more. That was horrible. Not that you guys have anything to do with that. It was just, not the world's best. And I just needed the headspace, so let's try one more. But the ads do appear to be over, so when this round completes or fails either way, then we'll head back to more diggy-diggy. Although if I'm going to be doing a lot of diggy-diggy, we could potentially either put words in a smaller space, and just have it live there, or maybe do as some other streamers do, and if I can get the computer to cooperate, potentially pull marbles on stream at the same time as the game. too soon. Nope, doesn't like that. Last got it first. Oh, nope. What hath we done? Darn it. Somebody else can have Lanth if they want it. Almost got it perfect. That's awesome. Alright. Mama Bear's chasing up the second place and last with a solid third. I don't know why I can't say your name today. I really should be able to. Most of the time I normally can. So I'm just trying to scooch centered. Alright, let's continue this one. For some reason I looked at that word and said bechamel, and I'm like, that's not in there. For sure it's not. Oops. Oh. Ah, Chase, that's what I was thinking of. Wow. 3 stars. Okay, so we're down, advanced 3 levels, which we're up to 7. Okay. Not gonna jinx it, so let's not ruin that. Yeah, just under the wire. Thankfully no lag today. It sounds funny, but even when I'm the host, occasionally I will get lag because this is not hosted locally for me. Okay, we have a fake letter here. Ah. So it looks like the D is fake. I'm gonna say it just so nobody else has to. It's my stream. Okay, I'm sorry that's in there. Good grief. It's funny there's no E words. Yes, the word is there. I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole. Sorry. But the 5-letter words just escaped me this time. 2 levels, not bad. So that makes us level 9. Okay. A few more seconds. Excuse me. And I might actually have to have another tea drink. Let's do this, and I'll give everybody a hydrate. Maybe. And what happened there? It supposedly ran, but didn't run. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, whoops. Oh. Well, the N seems to work, but I bet you it's the S, actually. Yeah, rough. Oh well. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. All right. So we'll probably have one more chance for this one before we get too far. I will let this sit for a minute. The breakfast bar stuck in my teeth. It just feels really weird when I'm talking. Okay, let's get back here and live. I wish Exit had the ability to do a key bind. That would be nice. And just, well, really? Yeah. Sometimes that's the case. In the game, it's the middle of the night with creepers. So we're gonna have some fun, I guess. Hopefully not blow ourselves out too badly. I'm gonna leave that bed for the moment. And show you guys, we have just a few creepers over there who will probably see us when we get up, and there's another one over there, another one over there. So I need to de-creeperify. I'm never really sure how this works out in terms of damage per swipe, because 1.6 attack speed is certainly faster, but the attack damage difference is notable, whereas the axe is much higher damage, but its attack speed is much slower. So I don't know which is the better bet in that case. Oh, and it's raining. Wunderbar. No Bernie stuff. Great. See, I don't want to have a whole smattering of death logos all the way through this. By the way, my favorite map unfortunately mutes the sound. So I use the other one, it doesn't mute the sound. Okay, so creepers may not be on the same level, or they're despawning. That would be nice. And they seem to be despawning, so maybe I'm just borrowing trouble. Or, you know, maybe this will be my little... Yeah. I'm not gonna get super dark. Let's not. Put this up here for a moment. There. Get my torch back. Alright. Any creepers in sight? I don't see any. Okay, so that means I think it's worth it to take the bed with me. It occurred to me I have not told the game to set world spawn in a useful spot. There we go. So, unfortunately, we are going to have some challenge with that, but that's okay. Where were we here? We were going the opposite direction. Well, some stuff burnt up before the sun started. I won't sniff at freebies like that because I don't have a bow yet, nor do I have a Fletcher to give me arrows. Oop. So let's take what we can find. That's less concerning. Can I find the arrow? Yes. Arrows, please. Thank you. I don't really need the bones, but let's clean up. There we go. Where was I digging? Over here. So it was nice to get the first half of the circle done because I'd messed up the first quarter. And so when I did the second piece, I got that one slightly messed up a little bit as well. But it turned out I'd completely forgotten about the inconsistency in the way that I'd placed the central section. So some of the wood pieces were on the inside, sorry. If you take a look at the chunk, some were on one side of the chunk line and other ones were on the other. I seem to have figured it out consistently front to back, meaning as I went away from the center point, but I was not consistent in terms of being able to get it to work on one side of the line or not. One chunk or the next neighboring chunk, I guess. So that was a little bit of a surprise, but that's okay. I think I've got it figured out enough that it will do. That'll do. There. Oh. Put that in there? Oh, I can't because of all the... Duh. Egg. You go away. And grab these for now. I'll move the torches later because they stack. Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, as far as the world goes, the only thing I've turned off is fire tick. So fire spread. Everything else is still vanilla here. And for curiosity's sake, I did kick it up to hard. I haven't locked it in case there's a reason I need to change it for, say, I don't know, stills or something. But I'm playing it in hard mode. It's not ideal, because I'm just not good at it. But you know, I'm not going to be the one who's able to handle hardcore mode for long periods of time, even being a chicken. And, I mean, I can if you play it at a snail's pace, where you're basically holed up, which is kind of defeats the purpose of having the fun, right? It's a game for game's sake. It shouldn't stress you out. That's really where my logic is. So if it gets to the point where it stresses me out, well, then let's try something else. This is not Animal Crossing, even though I do play it in a fairly cozy format. But even Animal Crossing needs thrills now and then. And maybe that's something I'll have in Mainframe. Maybe I'll have a Minecraft zoo for kicks. I don't know. You ever done that? I tend to grab a lot of the domestic animals and then call it a day. Partly because most of them have uses. I still have yet to see what the valid use is for a pig. I mean, it would be nice if they could, I don't know, find you carrots or something. Not like it would really matter, because those are fairly growable, but something silly like that might be nice. You know, there is no truffles in the game. So maybe... What? Oh. I went through both my shovels. That's what happened there. Uh-huh. Well, let's hand shovel these. Just because then they're gone. Okay. Dirt. Okay, great. This one? I think that is... I think I've got the lower shield thing in here for a tweak. If not, I will put it in, because I don't need this nonsense. Yeah, let's just block this in. Oops. Let's just, can I reach that? Yeah, there we go. I'm probably going to have mobs spawning in here, aren't I? Let's put one torch in there. I don't have to worry about it as much. Just close this in somewhat sanely. There we go. That's where the wall is. And it won't be that far down. Hello. No, you too. Yes, Mer, I got it. I got the message. Alright. 2 more shovels. Let's go with 1 more pick. And 1, 2, 3, 4 more shovels. There. Right, that. And keep going. So, last, if you have time, I know you may have gone elsewhere, but if you're still around, I'm curious, what are you having for dinner today? I've not heard anything more about my kids' plans for the day. I will admit I didn't hear all of their plan before they went to bed last night, and then I was not in a position to be able to stop and chat before I started stream today. So I don't really know what's going on, but they may actually have decided to have an impromptu meeting of Scout friends, is what I'm being told it is. So in other words, it's a bunch of people who happen to know each other through Scouts who just want to hang out as friends and do nothing programmy or planning or whatever. I don't know, I don't think that that's a problem in terms of leadership, like, or not leadership, adults and stuff. Like, they're just hanging out at one of the public parks in the city. So I don't think that, well, actually, technically, it's provincial park, which shouldn't make any difference really, but, and they're all, frankly, I'm actually quite surprised, they're all relatively responsible. I mean, you would hope so with it being Scouts, but not always the case. Anyhow, oh, I forgot I can sleep earlier because it's raining. Please make the rain go away. Rain, rain, go away. There we go. So I don't know if they're doing that. If it's deemed that they need leadership, well then I guess I'll have to hang out. But then we'd have to have 2 leaders, and I don't know what's the story on this one. Most of these guys can hang out on their own. I mean, yeah, the youngest ones are like 11, but, or 10 or 11. but the older ones are like 14. And under most circumstances, 14 is considered very legal to be able to be babysitting, and you don't have to be staying within someone's home. So if they all want to hang out together and look out for each other, more power to them. This is actually a good crew, for the most part. Sometimes we have some years where you wouldn't really want to let these guys do much of anything on their own, with this many people. But when we're talking, like, I'm thinking, what, 5 or 6 maybe? Probably. I mean, if it was a meeting, such that we got all the parents buy-in, so the kids get dropped off and whatnot, then, if it was a meeting, then we could have as many as, say, a dozen, I guess. But if it's just a social thing, I don't know if they're going to get that many. But they're all a dozen of good behaved, well-behaved kids. So we had, what did they say, 13, I think? It wasn't just kids and adults, I suppose. But we had a whole bunch of them for our camp trip, so that was not bad. In the past, we've had years where the kids just don't want to do much of anything, and that causes all kinds of headaches. So I want the top one to be green eventually. So that does cause all kinds of headaches when it comes to having enough leadership around. But these guys are great. They actually show up to things, they actually do activities, they participate, which is more than you can say for some of the other ones we've had. So that's good news. Let me get out of here. I have no idea what song this is. Something about partying. Anyway, so where I was going with it was, I don't know if they'll be doing that sort of thing tonight. I hope they have some fun. You know, I'm glad that they all get along. Sometimes you get groups that get along, but they get along socially and not any other way. And then they make it really hard to work with each other, or they make plans and nobody shows up. Although, I mean, that's just people, right? Oh. This one. That's just people for you. And I'd be either curious what they do when they get together. Because when they play a game, if you guys have ever heard of Man Tracker as a game, basically it's like hide and seek and tag all rolled into one. And that's, I shouldn't say basically what they play, but that's about it. They don't play much more than that. I've never quite figured out why, but it's Man Tracker, Man Tracker, Man Tracker all the time. And at one point I thought it was just who we had for youth that year, because there was one kid who was really obsessed with the Man Tracker TV series, and I honestly thought that maybe it was because of that. No, they play that all the time. And it's funny because some of them said, you know what, I've got so much tag at school. Well, then why do you play Man Tracker? Oh, because it's different. Well, what's different about it? Well, you hide first. So when you get found, you run around because somebody's trying to tag you. I mean, that's really all there is to it. Like, what's the difference? But there's a difference, so far be it for me to understand what the difference is. I've asked them 100 times and nobody can articulate. Fugitive. What's fugitive like? I guess it's the same sort of thing. I suppose you're right. Can't reach any further, so that's fine. I could Google the rules. That would be sensible. But that would be, something I'm not likely to do. Let's just go around the corner. But I mean, sometimes there's, they get out. They get the advantage to it from a adult perspective, I guess, is that, as much as We get sick and tired of hearing the same game every time. And their second most popular one is one we call Aces, which is kind of a coordinated rock, paper, scissors. Hey, you. No, I don't want to be on fire, thanks. Let's see. Okay, let's take the torches out and make this a generic junk bag. No, eggs are just about as bad. Eggs, you can go the way of the dodo. Oops. I don't have shaders. Just keep hitting the button that says I do. One or several kids would be the fugitive. I think they had a head start, then the others would try to find them. In neighborhoods. Running, running, running. Exactly. Yeah, that's the big key, is the running part. And they don't actually, you know, have a ready or not, here I come thing. Sometimes they do, but most of the time they're like, I'm coming to get you, and they just run. Which is fine. You know, if they want to play that, that's cool. If they want to get tired, that's fine by me. My son gets tired of that game for a while, after a while, but he doesn't stop playing. I think he likes to be the seeker, because then he's not always picking up and running spots from time to time, but sometimes he actually gets really good at hiding, and then he likes to be the sought after, because then he doesn't actually have to do much of anything, because he just finds a spot and hunkers down. Both of my kids actually are really good at the hiding part. And right now is not a bad time for these kids to be playing this game, because come the fall, I don't know if it's end of September this year or if it's going to be early October, we're back to another round of Great Escape, which I think we mentioned earlier, or last year, was based on the World War II Great Escape and the movie and so on. And so anyway, these kids have to go and hide overnight because they will get found and, well, supposedly tagged, although the rules have changed in the last few years, and you're quote-unquote not allowed to run. Just about everybody does, but the thing is, because it's after dark in a farmer's field that has things like barbed wire, that's part of the reason they put a do not run thing. But weirdly enough, I swear some of the youth that are doing the chasing have looked up and practiced race walking, because I've seen them do it around camp. And it's not just, you know, long stride speed walking teenagers. Like, quite literally, some of them, they look kind of like they just glide along and don't even lift off the ground. So anyways, for our kids to practice hiding and running and whatever is totally fine by me. You know, it's helpful for them later on. But this Aces game is the same, shouldn't say same sort of thing. It's like Capture the Flag, but it's Capture the Deck. You've got, I think I may have mentioned this before, but you've got a person who holds a deck of cards. Okay. Holds a deck of cards at each end of the play space. And we usually do it in an open wide games field. And then everybody gets dealt a card. So the teams get dealt a card from their deck, shuffled up, etc. And then they go out, and the aim is to try and capture the other team's deck. The way you do so is when you go out, people meet up with one another, or sometimes, depending on the version you're playing, sometimes they have to play tag for it, which is kind of weird, because you really want to meet up with people, but whatever. So they meet up, and then they compare cards. And when they compare their cards, the one who's got the higher value card, so aces are at the top, but they're also at the bottom. So an ace would actually be at the bottom, so ace through king would be 8 or 1 to 13. And when you meet up, whoever's got the higher card wins the other player's card, and then takes that card and their original back to their starting point, their starting person or deck holder, who then deals them a new card. And So the difference being, you try to get across to the other side with your card. Like, just so you do want to meet up with people, but usually it's a tagged format, basically, because everybody's cheating. And they want to... Oh. I didn't think about this, but what I was going to do with the supplies. That's going to be interesting. Anyways, so what you do with the tagged format is, of course, you get tagged and then you meet up. It's like a rock, paper, scissors, but you use your cards. And the one with the higher card wins the other person's card. You go back and get a new one, right? So you're wanting to get out there as much as you can with as many cards as you can, one at a time, to try and win as many other team cards. But you also, if you get dealt an ace, you want to get, before you get tagged by anybody to have to compare cards, you want to be able to get your ace all the way down to the other team's deck holder. Because if you can turn in your ace at the other team's deck holder, you get half of whatever that other team's deck holder has. So you want to try and win as much of this deck as you can, right? And, but of course, if along the way you get tagged, anybody's got a card higher than yours, right? So they want to tag as many people as they can and get as many aces as they can. And at the beginning of the game, it's easy to see sort of who's got like cards from what deck before the thing gets all shuffled up. The decks do have to get separated out between games because you want to start out with all the same backs just to make sure that there's an even spread of the various denominations inside the deck. I mean, I suppose if I took the time to sit down and actually break it up, it doesn't matter about suits. If it's suits, we usually do rock, paper, scissors. I've seen the game played elsewhere where they didn't bother with that. They actually had a suit ranking, but we didn't bother with the suit ranking. We usually do rock, paper, scissors. Or the one that tagged the other. That's the other possibility. Is if you deal... Sometimes I've seen it played so that whoever did the tagging, but if you're just walking out because you know you don't have an ace, and you just want to go and see what you can capture with your card, then it's kind of silly to worry about who tagged who first. So anyway, so that's one of the other ones that they play, and therefore I have a couple of old decks of cards that permanently live in my backpack for Scouts, just because they're almost always playing one of those two games. And they need space to do it. But if they're just having to sit around and chat and be silly, like do pictures on their phone or record videos of stuff, make people making faces, doing silly things, cool, that's fine. You know, if they want to roast marshmallows or whatever, that's fine too. They happen to have chosen a location they often use with the Scout meeting, and we're going as, you know, friends from Scouts, and to a place choosing the same time slot we usually use, just because it makes meetup times easier. People know what their family schedules are and stuff. For the most part, I mean, summer is different, but not horribly so. People could usually make it work. So I thought that was very smart of them to make that decision, to try and use the same slots and stuff. But we'll just have to see what goes and figure out what the plans are, because I hope they have a good time with it, whatever they do. How big is this one? Oh. Okay, well, I'm gonna have some build-up later. Don't really want to split the ravine at the moment. That's a little more than I'm prepared for. Alright. Can I get across? Yes. At some point I'm going to fall in that. That's one of the advantages to building forward, is because then you don't fall into it. But the other reason I didn't care about the fact that I've got this far is I'm going to need to go all the way down there anyways at some point. And if I'm digging out the big bowl, the larger one, then I'll need to get underneath the smaller one anyways. So something like this might be useful. Alright, so let's just keep on trucking. Right? I mean, I probably could just go back and forth in little strips. That would be sensible as well. But me, sensible? Nah. We'll need to get all of this stuff cleared out eventually, one way or the other. and I'm leaving stuff behind. Therefore, is there anything I can put away? Not particularly. That one's almost empty. Let's combine this with that. That'll get me one slot to work with. How much mess am I leaving? Okay. Well then. What I will probably do is just start leaving chests around. I only brought one to start with. That was sort of an emergency chest, but yeah, I'll probably start leaving chests around then along the center lines, and then we can collect them up. It's a little easier. Sweet and sour pork tenderloin. Yum, yum, yum. I think ours is pork tenderloin, if I remember correctly. And I do have flint and steel, actually a pair of them. So that would be nice. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should just run these to the center pole. I'm gonna have a whole monster pile of them anyways. Can I get enough put away in other bags? Let's put that in there. There we go. That'll get me some space. I mean, the center will be the deepest, so it's kind of dumb to do things there. But on the other hand, the center section is the one where sort of everything's going to be, I guess, as in the most important spot. Actually, let's just be silly about this, just for fun. Okay. So dirt. That one. And this one. I might as well somewhat sort if I can. Where did I put this? 1, 2. Yeah, let's just do one at a time. As I said, I'm being silly. So I'm going to have 2 directions. Let's go, whatever this is. North-south with dirt, and east-west with, like, stones. And we'll see what else comes out of that. Okay. Oh, whoops. Take this out. Put these things. Junk can go in there. That was kind of stupid. Oh well, that's fine. Put you in here. Close enough to full. Let's put you in there. I don't think you're gonna fit. Nope. That'll do. Alright. So, what did I lock in? Yeah, I don't want to lock in that. Okay. I had torches? Yes. Perfect. Oops, one more. Nope, we're good. We're good. This was stone stuff. 6.5. Nice, how convenient. Alright. Perfect. So, next. Next! Don't worry, it's only 45 minutes of this one. Actually, probably about half an hour-ish, and then we'll see another ad, probably. You're not crazy. There is another hangman sitting on the top of the screen. I really should move those. Let's see. Put them somewhere central. Because they're not in the way. Live. Where is hangman? What did I have? Oh! Oh, I nested it even further, did I? Huh. No? Where is my hangman source from? That's interesting. Text games. Ah, okay. Yeah. So in text games, let's move Hangman. We're gonna go down. I mean, it's right in the middle of the action if I do that, but that's just life. It's just text. We can see through the text. Maybe a little lower than that. Sure, that will. It's kind of silly, but 9, 8, 7, 16, 15. That'll give me enough space. Perfect. I can't decide, so there's always going to be problems. That's okay. Oh, whoa, whoops. That's how I make mistakes. Because I see the creeper coming up and a pair of spiders. Let's de-escalate the spiders. Eat. And let's take care of one. Actually, I'm going this direction, so I could ignore them. Let's see. Yeah, let's just ignore them. I'll come back for the bed in case I screw up and get too close. I'm going to peel off this layer now. The problem with doing the dirt with the grass layers is sometimes I swear it sounds like a creeper. Well, you know, if your tenderloin was marinating way too long, it'll probably be way tender. I mean, really, when you think about it, tenderloin, by the time you purchase it, it's often very, what's the word? Often very, it's dried out. Like the moment they cut it, it starts drying right away. Oops. Guess I cut off the top of the tree by mistake. Oh well. There we go. I keep seeing that lava flow and thinking it's like a zombie on fire. I don't know why, but I do. Which is dumb, because it shouldn't be. Okay, do we have any? Yeah, we have more. So we're going to peel down by layers again, as usual. I was going to go around in spirals, but I realized that then I get stuff from the outside. That's not so useful. Like I end up digging myself a slot and making things super tall in the center. So let's just grab a chunk and just keep peeling on layers. If I over dig, that's fine because I don't think I'm going to, but because I'm going to have to dig down whatever it is anyways. Let's see. We're just going to take a quick look at this mini-map to see if it works any. Okay, that's not showing entities of any sort. Okay, like it's showing mobs, it's not showing drop stuff. Whereas the ones on the current minimap are a little bit large. I don't see the point. I mean, I'd like to know what they are, but frankly, the fact that they're, you know, a block the size of a pig's head, which is too big for the pig anyways. It's funny, when you look at the size of the, well, not the size of the block I'm leaving behind, but you look at it says the dot for the slab I placed, you can barely see it at all in the minimap. Most of you guys won't even be able to see it on the screen. But, yeah, the dropped entity should not be larger than that. Oh, Broke the last shovel. Okay. So let's make a mitt full more. Do I have any more sticks? I do not. Oh, whoops, nope. 1, 2. Was it 10? Let's do 6. Oh no, I don't need that much. Oh, I don't have that. Shoot, okay. That's okay, it's kind of cheaty anyways. It's 12? 16? Let's do 1 stack. That'll work. That's 32. Gives me lots of sticks. There's a bunch. Perfect. Okay. Ooh, will you fit in there? Yay! Okay. So, let's make a bunch. I have spares of that, so let's make 4 shovels again. Alright. Don't know where I put the bed at the moment. There's a reason it's purple. Because I should be able to figure out where I put it. And I have not the foggiest. Well, that'll be bad come nighttime. Do I have any idea where I put this bed? Huh. Okay. So now I have an interesting dilemma. It's probably not that far from me, but I don't see it. I'm not carrying it. Did I put it down here? Did not. I was worried about creepers in that direction. So where did I put it? Huh. Okay, well, that's going to be interesting come nighttime, but that's fine. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, I suppose. Sorry, I'm being a little quiet. There wasn't much to say. It sounds kind of silly, but maybe some of these streams will become like ASMR extras. Who knows? We'll see how long my voice holds up. Today's question of the day was incorrect, but that's okay. Oh, what piece of technology would look like magic or a miracle to people in medieval Europe? I know we've had a lot of these questions before, and we should probably get a new batch of questions of the day. So I might need to switch it up to something else. But that's what we got for the moment. What's this? Oh, haha, that was my bed slot from earlier. I know I need to dig it out, but at least I can run around flat. There we go. And a little bit less in my inventory. Pick a direction, Dylan. Oh, grass. Okay. Where did that whole lack of bed thing is bothering me quite a lot. Where did I put it? Isn't it over here? Uh-oh. The other possibility is I may not have picked it up. That's even worse, to be honest with you. That's even worse. Aha. Okay. I meant didn't pick it up as in didn't collect it at all. But this is not too bad. Okay. Put that up there. we'll get rid of these ones. So it's going to be a slow process to get this part dug out. I'm starting to understand why people like Swanky Potato totally push through in a rush their basic gear to get as quickly as possible to as high as possible of level of gear, because this is a little silly. I'm leaving some of the trees as long as I can, because then I don't have to worry about going really far afield for wood when we run out. So hopefully that'll work. The speed on the grass with a shovel is not too bad. It's gravel that takes forever, to be honest with you. But I mean, it's one at a time, right? Meaning, when gravel gets cut, one block is pokey, but because it's a gravity block, then you get to go a little faster. And yeah, you guys have seen me do this a million times before, so I too understand it's not the world's most exciting content. At least this time I'm not talking about old or mysteries to ad nauseum. Starting to think it's a good thing I went and got my bed. There we go. All right. Over here, this one. There we go. One of the other things I thought about doing, which is totally on the illegal side, but would be, I shouldn't say fun, but makes sense, would be to potentially look into trying not to get in big trouble for copyright strikes if I was to air episodes of the TV series alongside the Dig project. Truth is, that's a bad idea. But if there's interest in seeing the Reboot TV series, we could look at whether or not we're going to start doing a movie night thing. Fun but illegal? I'm in, yeah. I don't know if you'd be in, Fox, but hey, you guys would know what happened if I suddenly ended up with a brand new Twitch name. Or the Twitness Protection Program for being an idiot. But anyways, that's the kind of thing that I think might be kind of fun. They have 4 seasons. I think each episode was about a half hour long. And then there's some movies, there's some video games, there's some... I know there was a ride-through at some park, which no longer exists, of course. So there's plenty of material in that respect. 4 seasons worth. Now, a lot of people say that the show didn't actually start getting good until the 3rd and 4th seasons. But part of it is because they didn't like, a lot of the fans who say that did not like the first couple of seasons where at least one of the characters is a kid, and a lot of the silly jokes, like they're played for laughs, and then they got more serious later on. So that's it. There's some really bad computer puns that happen in this show. Well, a lot of bad puns along the way, everywhere. But one of the things that was bad pun is the 3rd and 4th seasons.
Ads are starting. Time for a break, and Dylan will continue the main focus after the ads are over. Thank you for your patience and stream support.
Let's make sure we can get out of here. Okay, words on stream time. Let's see if I can get myself stuck in a hole. Torch. There we go. Dirt. 1, 2, and 3. All right. So words on stream time. Go back to that. And let's see if we can get this one started. To start. There we go. Quick and sweet. I'm gonna try again to give you guys a hydrate. I have no idea what happened the last time, why it didn't play any sound. Do-do-do-do-do. Inactive. That's not true at all. Huh. That's bizarre. Okay. Now my wavelength system doesn't even see my bot at all. That's, disappointing. Oi! That was loud. Alright, we're on to the next one. Ads have finished. Welcome back, everybody. So let's see if we can continue on this one. What have we got? Ah, okay. Oops, too soon. Well, that exists. That's too bad. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. Sometimes, if I'm not paying attention, I don't get into the game as much, and I should have. Okay, so exit that one. So far, so good. We haven't actually had... Oh, we haven't actually had the stream need us to have another death, which is good news. I don't really relish the whole dying business, you know? Let's do it that way. And I keep leaving holes where I've been. Oh well. So I can fall in them, right? Yeah, they were really staticky that last time. It seems like the bot's buffer, or the application's buffer thing, is really tiny. So let's see what happens if I make it. Oh. Small. Okay, so input-output buffer is pretty low. I can make it larger, but I have to restart the whole sound system, so I'm not super keen on that. We'll see what happens. I mean, the music started out staticky and then it got better. It got better! Yeah, so we'll see what's happening. I don't know why it thought that the bot had gone to sleep, because the app was still there. It just stopped seeing it. And then I had the app do something on a completely different cable, and suddenly it worked again. Go figure. How far down am I digging this circle? All the way, Mama Bear. Actually, no, I'm not. Where are we at? 67? Probably down to 0, I guess. Probably down to 0. So this is one of the other advantages to having ravines and caves underneath, is just that much less digging. So I guess I can start this end. Where's my map? I'm kind of chasing a chunk. Haha. So I'm chasing a chunk that's kind of silly, but that's okay. Oh, there is a creeper over there. Okay. And here we go again. Bedtime. So, yeah. This is... We're talking, for your reference, Mama Bear, this is like the swanky potato grade of Crazy Dig. This is part of why I will spend some time doing this sort of thing while I'm doing other items, now that I've got the dig started. I used to do that a fair bit with the carpet dig for the Cadpile monk art thing. I'd be watching other shows and watching other streamers while digging. I think this one I might have to start doing the same as well. And possibly, I think I might end up having to go through it and cheat myself in a beacon or two, just to make things go a little bit faster. Not on this round. So you see the reference pictures above my head. We've got 2 green circles. I'm working on the inner one right now, which is not so far down. But then the outer one, if I'm to dig that as well, then of course that needs to go down even further. And the other part is I'm trying to decide if the center sphere is 128 across, and then there's, you probably can't see it too well in the picture, but in the upper picture there's a blue pillar underneath it, and that's supposed to lift it off the bottom approximately the same distance as there's little bridges that come out the side. So that would be about 32 blocks tall. So then if that sphere is not if that sphere is not at the ground, then in order to make sure I have enough height overall, I might have to dig deeper, but I'm hoping not, just because 320 is a pretty big place to be, and I don't think I'm going to need all that height, and I can't recall, but I think that the top of that central building is supposed to be virtually the top of the city. So that could be a good place to cut it, so to speak. And if it is the top of the city, then I guess the other possibility I have, if I really don't enjoy digging, because there's a lot that goes down from there, is I probably should have actually done the math. More math. and now that I've got this idea in my head, if that is the top, then I could actually do the math down from 320. Like, assume that I'm starting to build it, say, up to 319, and then figure out how far down I'd need to get. Because truth is, I actually may already be well below what I need, in which case the circle is just the wrong size. And we'd be working on the outer one. So I have to figure that one out as well. It's either build up or dig down. Because if I'm doing the outer circle, there will be a dig down. So I really need to figure that one out. Maybe I'll work it. I said I was going to do that yesterday, and I chose to troubleshoot things and fight with the audio instead. So we'll see how well that works. If the audio is sounding, like voice is sounding crisper, and we can get enough stuff to cooperate from time to time, then I might stick with what I've got, because it looks like a little bit less chaos in OBS by just simply splitting it out to another app. But I'm always leery when I'm running other apps, because even though I've got a relatively sweet machine that can do a lot of stuff, just every little bit of overhead seems to count. Which I'm not impressed with when the computer does that, but hey, it's normal. And we won't be doing this forever and ever and ever. Well, we won't be doing this consistently back to back forever and ever and ever. I have other projects I want to get onto, and we've got other types of Minecraft to play. So there is the modded stuff. I don't think I'll go back to the modded server on the next round. They're playing a pack that just doesn't really interest me. So I've got the FTB Evolution on the go. And I've got, we have, what is it now? Approximately 12 weeks, I guess, until the reset of the Java Dadcraft 73 community server. And that means, in a reality sense, oh, empty, okay. Let's put this in here. And that in there. I have one lone block. Fine. Where was I going? I said something about reality, and then it was unreal about it. Dunno. So, yeah. So I have these other kinds of Minecraft to play. And then, of course, I want to play other games as well, which is part of where the troubleshooting whole silliness started, is that I wanted to play other games too, but I had figured out how to do that. I also have Lego sets that are, I shouldn't say piling up, but backlogging, and I'm pleased with that because I really like them. However, I do want to get into building some of those again, and I still have the wood clock thing to do. Sorry, I keep calling it clock, it's not. It's a wooden calendar. We started it ages ago, and I may not actually finish it on stream. I'm not sure how much interest there is for people to see that on stream. But I want to finish that one up and then start doing some builds on stream. I've got 3 of them. One is the word love, and it's an artistic piece that was done. And it's fun. It's just a bit of fluff. And I want it, I like it for me. I got it from Fantastic Sherlock Fox, of course. But the other 2 that I think you guys might be more interested in is we've got a Harry Potter greenhouse. Some more of the Hufflepuff greenhouse, and with, like, I think Professor Sprout is there. Not entirely sure if she's in that one or not. Oh, busted. But we've got that to deal with, and then we've also got a Sherlock Holmes book nook. So I'm looking forward to both of those quite a lot. Okay, that won't fit. That won't fit. Okay, fine. Let's just go with the flow. Let's put this one back because it will fit. So I'm looking forward to all of those as well. That's just, we've got content. I shouldn't say out the wazoo, because that's not true. But we have plenty of content options So we would have to do this forever, but I think this will probably be my Forever World project because it can be so flexible. And it's something that is based on a cartoon that I've enjoyed for such a long time. And it has so much flexibility to it because within the cartoon they make all kinds of references to other things outside it. For example, those of you that are familiar with Dire Straits, there was a joke put in about that as well from, what's his name? It was referring to the Dire Straits video, I think it was Money for Nothing. And also a little bit of a side reference to Weird Al's movie Frank's 2000-inch TV. And so those ended up in there. I mean, there's a bunch of random stuff like that. As far as Dadcraft 73's server theme, I said I was going to be doing reboot theme stuff, and yeah, that'll probably be where I start working on things like massive, ridiculous statues on this cartoon's theme, or logos, or might even test run some of the buildings that'll end up in here that I can copy paste in later. So that's where my head is at the moment. Nope, that's not gonna work. Math doesn't math. Okay, fine. We'll get more of those in a minute. So, hopefully we'll have some interesting stuff. I'm not going to be totally one track. As I said, there's other kinds of Minecraft to do and other games to play and so on and so forth. And I might end up with a Sherlock Holmes theme at some point. I tried that a little bit on one of my seasons relatively recently. It didn't play out as well as I'd hoped, but then I don't know what I was expecting. But when I'm thinking like saying massive reboot statues, I'm thinking like the statues themselves might go down to whatever the standard level is, like what, 70 or something like that, and then just grow up and see if I hit the roof. You know, that could be it. I don't know yet. I have to find sources for that to be able to design it, because I can't build that from scratch, and certainly would be hollow because at that scale they're ridiculous. But I do want to do statues of some of the characters, like Mike the TV is going to happen. I want to do a much more detailed version of a binome, which is sort of the main sort of species, I guess. I don't know if you can really call a binome a species. But that's sort of the main character set, I guess. The population. I keep talking about Fong. He's very different than the other characters in the game. He doesn't look the same as the others. It's kind of hard to explain, and he's got a very skinny set of limbs. So to do a Fong, it would have to be large just to get the detail to actually work, to actually stick. No bad puns intended. Large statues of the villains and their sidekicks might be kind of fun. So I don't know if doing a large Scuzzy would be really worth it. Right. More circles! Woohoo! More circles! Oh, bedtime. Alright. Didn't I lock that one? Huh. Didn't think I could do that. Okay. So, yeah, there'll be more to it. By the way, Jay, I saw you come in. I just was a bit on a tangent roll. I apologize for not saying hello right away. There was much rejoicing indeed that I'm not digging all the way down to bedrock. Although, you know, I might. We'll see. Once again, I should do that math. So one way or the other, I don't mind digging this part out for the next 10 minutes or so, because we will need this circle one way or the other. So that's fine. Like, we'll need the dig out one way or the other. The question is just how far I go. Yeah, digging with Delenn versus tough going with DC. Well, you know, let's say mine's linear. I don't mean as in my thoughts are linear. His are far more linear than mine. But with digging with Delenn, I will say we're very much back and forth on this one, as in forward and back in lines. And the reason for that is just that if I go side to side, the sweeping motion makes me sick. So we a bit of a mess. And the other advantage is because I'm being solo, I don't have to care if these stupid blocks just sit there for forever and a day. Okay, let's repair this one with the other one just to use it up. Yay. Do I care? Not really. Map. Yeah, I should probably go suck that other stuff up. And we'll make a chest. No worries? Oh, I'm glad. I gather you're on the ground here now, as opposed to in Finland. And welcome back, by the way. Hopefully you didn't have too much work to come back to, because that's not always all that much fun. Iron shovel replaced. Okay. That means we're going to pick up some more blocks. You can almost tell where one repairs shovels or combines shovels, simply because there's often a gap in the number of blocks dropped behind. It's like I'm painting the world very, very slowly with a very muddy paintbrush. But yeah, so there will be plenty of different things to do and different things to see. I won't always be doing the same thing. There are times I've thought about doing a Hogwarts theme, but I just don't have it in me to do a theme like that justice enough. One of the parts I like about Reboot is that although people could watch it, there's so much detail available that I could pick and choose what I want to work on. The other part of it is with the amount of detail available, it's also in a very obscure show. So people don't know what it is, and therefore, if I screw it up, nobody knows. Right? So that's, in my world, that's a perk. Oh, no. This one. When this gets full, we should stop and go put down a couple more chests. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be more here than we need. And this is like when I had, oh boy, doing the math already. This is far larger than the Cadfael art, and that one I had 8 or 10 chests of just dirt, I think. Or maybe it was less, because I know there was at least 6 of dirt and grass and such, because of Silk Touch and so on, but also that I didn't account for the stone that came out of that one. And that was only 130 something by 130 something. This is much, much larger and circular. Yeah, I saw you posted, Jay, about, posted in Dadcraft's Discord about the, what's the word? I don't remember. About the flight home having a bit of a delay to it. I'm kind of glad you didn't get stuck for too long. Maybe we should just make a whole stack full. Just grab these and see what we can do with them. Just make, there's 8. Gonna need that. It's 9. 17. Huh. Yeah, you know what? That probably isn't too many, honestly. And if I don't use them here, then I'll use them elsewhere. What did I do there? Let's put a stone in there. A rock. Because I can. I know I've got a spare rock. Okay, one here. Oh, that's what's bugging me. Okay. Where's my spare rock? There it is. This one. We'll go here. And then I'm gonna need another rock. I like a rock, yeah. This one. That. And that. Okay. That was dumb. Those get me started. This This one was dirt. And yeah, okay. That's as good as it's gonna get for now. This one, and off we go again. So I only have 5 more minutes of this business anyways. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, can't do it. Haha. There's one that wouldn't fit. Gee, I wonder why. Oh! Whoops. Put the wrong one in the wrong one. That explains a lot. Why do I have... I keep putting the full one in the other. Goodness gracious. Okay, this is empty. This is empty. Oh, I can't do it that way. Okay. Nice to know. Got it. Interesting. I want this one to pick up that one, not the other way around. That's fine. Make one more shovel in a minute or two and we're good to go. All right. Bleep. Oh, lots of noises. Manchester Airport. Okay. Long delays and cancellations. It could be worse. You're right. Could be very much worse. They said that they couldn't get the door to close properly, which is a little scary. I'm glad they didn't, manage to quote-unquote fix it, because sometimes you just don't want that, right? It's not safe. Yeah, the other part despawned. That's okay. Majestic Shock Fox says, I can usually sedate myself on flights, but I've had some where it was impossible to sleep, like our last trip to Ireland, and it makes for a rough night. Yeah, well, it's funny though. That one, I think your brain kept you awake. Pardon me. And what I mean by that is that you were thinking so much about various different things that I think that was probably what kept you awake. And sometimes it's even because I can sleep just about anywhere. I don't always fall asleep super easy, but once I find a rhythm to the sounds I'm hearing, then I can get myself to fall asleep fairly easily. And even on flights, it's a little harder, but I can get it to happen, which then also means that that you're sort of, you could say, stuck on parent duty because our kids couldn't sleep. So my daughter couldn't sleep and therefore wanted to look out the window, but it was too bright. Ooh, you're not supposed to hear that at all. Whoops. Our daughter couldn't sleep, therefore wanted to look out the window, but of course that was problematic for our son, who wanted it dark, which is unusual because then they swapped later on and it was the other way around. And kids, can't live with them, can't live without them some days. Okay, so we've got, where's the map? Let's use this one. Boop. So we've got stuff happening, slowly but surely. And so we shall see if we can get going between now and, today's Thursday? Now and Tuesday. But we got a big circle happening. So in the meantime, let's see who let's sleep before we get blown up again. Because, that was ideal. Yeah, that was ideal. Okay, great. Now I've got a few minutes left. All right. So we have, if I can get out of there. We're slowly making some progress, and we'll see if we can get some even more progress done next week, if I don't feel like doing something else. So we'll see. I want to get a couple of layers down so I can definitely see the circle before I get into too many other games, but as I said, we could be into something else, but it'll probably be Minecraft most likely, and I've got projects to finish. I still want to finish that stupid flying glove on DadCraft73's server. I kind of regret putting that one together because I didn't think I could do it justice. and then it got a little more complicated because I got picky. So we'll see what we can do. Hopefully it'll be interesting. I can't say at the moment what it's going to be because one of the things I find interesting now may not be interesting next week. So to each their own. That's not what I mean to say, but you know. So let's just find a raid before I stick my other foot in the mouth. Got Ricky Roy, Gutty, and Motown Mickey. Okay. Mickey could be fun. She tends to be up a fair while. I haven't been to Ricky Roy for a while though. I mean, actually usually I run into Ricky because I've been watching someone else first. Who else have I got? Yeah. We've done Gutty a couple times this week, so let's head on over to Mickey. They've got 24 in there. They're just hitting 4 hours though. So I don't know how long they're going to be up. Maybe 1 more hour. They might be done. It's hard to say. That could be a double raid, but she usually picks really good people. So even if it ends up being a raid to a raid, then she usually picks really good people. She, at the moment, appears to be on Slackville and Chill for Morning Minecraft. She's playing Bedrock Base, by the way, just so you guys are aware. And we shall get a move on. So thanks everybody for coming by. Let's get that raid started. And then I will say the things that people need to say, right? And enthusiastic me press the button too hard. That's okay. Oop. There we go. I've got a stream deck, and if I press it too long, the function times out. Oh, that's gonna mute me. Hello? Mute. There we go. Alright. So I want to say thanks to everybody for coming by. I really do appreciate it. It was great to have you guys here. Let's get that raid properly started. Alright. So, as I said, thanks everybody for watching and coming by. Some of the emotes and stuff were slow, so we may end up back at the older system tomorrow, or sorry, Tuesday, or some version thereof, because this is a little bit disturbing. But anyways, hang on to your hats. Hope you guys have a great time at Mickey's. She seems to be at the moment up on top of, out of the ship or a fake tree. It's hard to say. So let's figure out what she... Crap. Guess what? You guys will find this funny. So, for the second day in a row this week. Yep. Really. Really. I did it yesterday, and I did it today. We slept so that we wouldn't have this problem. Oh well. Alright. Let's get back to the end screen. So, enjoy yourselves over at Mickey's. Have a wonderful time, and I shall see you guys next week. Bye-bye for now.
Fantastic Sherlock Fox says, you always go out with a bang.